Washington Pod presents EARL Nightingale.
In The Strangest Secret, the message I wrote and recorded nearly 30 years ago, I pointed out that as a young boy of 12, I began looking for the so-called secret that successful people had and that unsuccessful people did not have. After asking dozens of grown-ups a few questions, I realized I was working in the wrong neighborhood. I was also living in the wrong neighborhood. If they knew the secret, I realized, they wouldn't be available for my questions. Instead, they'd be busy being successful. They certainly wouldn't be living in my part of town. So, with a newly issued library card in hand, I began haunting the Long Beach Public Library. I remember standing and looking at the woman seated at the desk. She would stamp books out, occasionally smile at someone, and make suggestions as to where the books they were looking for could be found. Well, I wanted to just walk up to her and ask, "Would you please tell me where I can find the book with the secret of success?" But it was clear to me that she wouldn't know that, so I started reading those books that seemed to be likely candidates. Soon I found myself sidetracked into the world of the most exciting fiction, the Hardy Boys, the great mind-expanding stories of Edgar Rice Burroughs and Zane Grey. I couldn't get enough of them, and took them from the library in armloads and assiduously brought them back, spent on time, so that I could get more. What a wonderful place that library was, and in those wonderful books, I learned of the importance of honesty and courage and of believing in what's right, and being willing to fight for it. Books are filled with ideas, and ideas spur us into action. And it was in a book that I finally found the secret of success I started looking for as that boy of 12. I was 29 when I found it, but I'd been on the trail for many years. Just as a gold miner will find indications that he's looking in the right places, everything I had read up to the moment of discovery had, in a way, prepared me for the truth of what I was about to see. And one day, poking about in what was then Crock and Brentano's bookstore on Michigan Avenue in Chicago, I picked up the book, Think and Grow Rich, by Napoleon Hill. The title made sense to me. If one was to grow rich, certainly it would come about as a result of thinking. I bought the book, took it home. The following weekend, I came to the secret, spelled out and needing no further description or definition. I read the words, "We become what we think about." I found much of the book archaic, but that didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was that that small book was the one I'd started looking for 17 years before. That was the book that held the secret of success. We become what we think about. Just 6 words. Now, there are more than 600,000 words in the English language, but those were the 6 I wanted to see in that particular order, and it was at that moment that I had the answer I needed. It went like this: I can determine what I think about. Therefore, I can determine what I become and what I have. Everything fell into place then, of course. People who thought about becoming lawyers became lawyers. When I was a boy in Long Beach during the Great Depression, what did the people in our neighborhood think about? To begin with, they didn't think about very much. They thought about getting by on minimums as best they could. They thought about their government relief check. They thought about shopping at a nearby store, going to the movie at the Bijou occasionally, maybe getting an occasional odd job or even a steady job. And that was the end of it. Their lives had been mirrors of their thoughts. They had quit learning too soon. They were using the astonishing human brain and body for mundane, ordinary tasks, or for doing nothing with them at all. They were looking for ways to save money instead of earning money. We didn't ride, we walked, except for an occasional bus or streetcar ride, which I never failed to enjoy. When my trousers developed a hole in them, we didn't think of ways in which we might buy a new pair of trousers. We thought in terms of mending the hole, and the pants became what we thought about, mended pants. So did socks.